Hello and welcome everyone. This is Yanniman bringing you today's Fleet Ops audio commentary. And today we have a 2v2 on Star Traffic. Today's bottom team comprises of Loki.Labrys as the yellow Romulans, and his teammate as the white Romulans is Alternate End. Their opponents today, starting off at the top as the light green Borg, this is BlueGraxxon, and his teammate, the red Klingons, this is Tyrus. So we are on Star Traffic again. It's a 4-player map. It's 14K by 14K. It is a relatively small to medium-sized map for a 4-player. Both everyone's starting positions includes some spread out moons. There is in a counterclockwise motion from everybody, their natural expansion. Here in the middle, there are 2 pair of moons that can be basically captured as far as if you wish to take up position in the middle of the map, which has, in the past, given some players a decided strategic advantage, but it does run the risk of you will be a prime target, and if you are not defending that, they will kick your butt. So, over here, as the white Romulans, these white Romulans, this is a Helev, so alternate end is a Helev, and then down here, his teammate is also a Helev, so we can expect, I don't know. Crap if I know what they're going to do. So the Borg here, BlueGraxxon, doing just a little bit of scouting here, is basically hanging out here, making sure that the Romulans don't come up near him. Everyone is going a fairly offensive build, doing good, putting up their Star Yard first. They're mining up as a second priority. Oddly enough, this guy has not set up his second mining yet. A little bit behind there, or possibly not. I'm not actually sure here. He could be going heavy research early, so that he can move into more offensive ships and do some perhaps early harassment, add a little excitement early on. So this guy here, this is probably a Martok. And it is a, yes, Sousa's, so it is a Martok. Going a lot of these Borels. It is a short map. These guys can do some decent damage. And against a Romulan player, their freighters are kind of weak. So they are susceptible to early game raiding. So everyone's slowly trying to get their economy going, trying to get their offense going. We can see that the Romulans have are both pumping out a couple Borels. I'm sorry, Rains. And let's see what the Borg up here are doing. Moving into I believe this is an optimized. I'm sorry, I believe this is an assimilate style ship, and he is going scout cubes here. A decent with probe, a decent early game opening move. The question is whether he is going to take these 2 ships, move them directly into his opponent, or he is going to manage to get, say, 4 or 5 scout cubes before he goes and attacks. The Romulans at the moment would not actually have sufficient numbers to push them back. And here we have Loki going fishing with his constructor. He's got 2 ships over here that you can see that are cloaked, and he's just sort of sitting there and waiting for someone to come attack him. I would not be... Well, here we go. He is actually mining, setting up a mining colony. And this is a strong position. If he can hold it, he'll be able to basically capture any sort of traffic going in his general direction, though there is a side route on the map. So here we have another scout cube coming up. But looks to be a little bit stuck considering he doesn't have the resources in order to do that. Has moved into his titanium mining very nicely. But not a lot of action so far yet. In the meantime, these Lavals. Here we have Tyrus moving up into his dilithium. Pretty safe move here. He's got a Burrell way over here in the corner. Oddly enough, not sure what it's doing. It is way out of position. Not going to be able to reinforce anywhere if there are issues. And down here, Loki's got a couple of ships cloaked, hanging out. Looking pretty. So far, a fairly quiet opening round. Everyone's just doing economy. No one's sniping at each other. No one's nipping at their heels. Everyone probably feels very safe at the moment. Except for perhaps Tyrus, who is getting harassed early on. He's only got one ship here, and he's got a new Doge class trying to fend off this a single Laval here. And this scout is not exceptionally strong, but it is putting on a little bit of hurt. And this Katinga is putting on some additional firepower with it. Here we have a Burrell coming up. And there's this Burrell over here that's not doing anything that could be used to at least try to hurt this guy in some form or fashion. So Tyrus actually very easily losing only one ship, but actually could run after this guy, and I believe these guys can actually see this. Manual targeting gives these guys the ability to see this once they've engaged it. I believe they appear to have lost it at the moment, so that is unfortunate for the Klingons. They definitely had a nice little thing going there for a second. And they are moving down here into Loki's expansion. So Loki bringing up another ship to help address this. They have a decent number of ships here. These Brels are going to get tagged. That one Laval is potentially should have stayed cloaked, but nonetheless not a bad problem. This one Cube Edge class hanging around here. Just a little bit manual firing going on here. The early harass, and Loki seems to be managing to hang on to his spot quite nicely. And in the meantime, Tyrus is managing to continue producing Burrells. These guys are a little bit weak. He does have his field research up, and the field research would allow him access to Seuss's or Cavorts, but he doesn't seem to be taking advantage of that. And these Burrells as Martok they're not as great as perhaps the Tokoroja ones, and so I don't know why he's staying on them. Martok usually liked moving into the later game ships earlier, mainly because their avatar helps deal with that. So after the initial first volley, not a lot has changed. Not a lot of ships are lost here in the process. And wow, upgrade facility so early on. Alternate in going into upgrade facility, not possibly going into intelligence center. That would be quite devastating on the Borg. In the meantime, the Romulans have decided to